I just want to ask how much we have time.
We have until 8 o'clock.
Okay. Good. My name is Ragmar. Nice to see you all. I'm leading the green tech sector in Science and Business Park Technopole, and also I have an entrepreneurial background. Before I started my career in technical entrepreneurship, I was studying biology, and when to combine biology and technology, then my answer was green technology, and that's why I'm involved in that sector. But my background in entrepreneurship is I have started several startups and exited from few of them, and now I'm actively also building my new startup, Kuhu Technologies. And what I'm going to talk about minimum viable product and making examples from entrepreneurship. This is my own experience. So this is just for background to explain why I'm talking about this subject. A little bit about Technopole. Technopole is the biggest tech hub in the Baltics. We have a business park in Mustamäe. I suppose many of you have been there already. And what we do, we help Estonian entrepreneurs. Simply say, we manage our real estate and earn profit. We put back in helping Estonian entrepreneurs, startups to succeed. Technopole is a foundation funded by state government, Tallinn City and Tallinn Technical University. This is our team. Plus we have 70 plus mentors on board. So we operate with true mentorship and hiring mentors on our payroll. Business development support is across all growth stages. Now you see that you are in the prototron stage. After that comes startup and startup stage, where we help startup to raise funds and to find customers, and often we do both. And then it comes growth stage, where companies need more export support and more financing as well. So this is how Technopolis operates, and these are focus fields for Technopole. And of course, green technology is my focus field. We are building this together with Pakri Science and Industrial Park, and these are our focus fields. Of course, green tech is pretty much covering soon every sector already. So, and we are going to talk about this. Why we should care about environment at all. This is planet Earth. Different scientific discoveries have found that planet Earth is 4.6 billion year old. Billion is so huge number. For example, if you divide million seconds, you get 2 weeks. If you divide billion seconds, you are getting 37 years. So 4.6 billion year, this is so long time. And to understand more clearly, it is good to put it into human years. Let's say planet Earth is 46-year-old human, and Mother Earth is, let's say, sheep. First of 7 years, we don't know pretty much anything about our planet. In years of 42, planet Earth became verdant. So the plants appeared to planet 1 year ago. There were dinosaurs on planet Earth. 8 months ago, mammals appeared. Last week, our planet was covered with ice shield. Homo sapiens appeared 1 month ago. In the middle of last week, they learned how to cultivate the land. So this is the act considered as humans started to like go over the nature. And with last 60 seconds, we have turned this verdant planet pretty much dump field in different sectors. Not all of planet is dump field, but half of forest is cut off, and we are taking things from land and often burn them and putting into the air and into the water, and water and air fills up. As you see how much we have land, how little we have water and air. And this hasn't never been so high CO2 level in atmosphere than it is now. Scientists can take measurements from the Earth layers, and they have seen that never has been so high CO2 level than 414 particles per million. So it is, we have kind of pushed our planet into the edge. And it all started with Industrial Revolution. It started with production on this graph. The production of Ford T started in 1908, and this graph ends with Paris Climate Agreement. You see this hockey stick effect, what all startups are looking for. We have found this hockey stick effect in carbon emissions. And I have seen the graphs that predict that this goes in steady stage and start lowering as well. So we believe that it is possible to make future businesses work while owners are earning money and turning environment much better. To define what is green technology, and there is no one sentence definition, but it is sustainable, environmental friendly and clean technology. It is a technology that doesn't exceed resilience of the environment. Production process, products and services are designed to be energy efficient. Renewable energy sources are used in maximum level, and the materials are created are recyclable. Plus, the sustainable nature of product through their life cycle is very important. That we are moving away from produce, use, throw away model, from produce, use, recycle, produce, use model. Simply said, circular economy model. And we are looking for balance. Why we have pushed nature into the limit? Because we haven't focused much to nature. Because maybe you know, if there is some real estate peak development, owners are defining the environment analysis as expense. Usually they are putting it in their Excel sheets on the line of expenses that they need to add this budget to make environment analysis where needed. And we haven't focused much to the environment, but what we have done, we are focusing on economy. But we see that future businesses are balanced businesses, that we cannot focus only environment as well, because then the business model is not sustainable. Also, we cannot focus only on social part, and we cannot leave society out as well. So we are looking for balance in between of these three sectors. European Green Deal has mainly three drivers. First is anti-greenwashing and transparency. That means that if I say out loud that my startup is economically balanced and sustainable startup and environmentally balanced as well, then I need to prove it. I need the numbers. I cannot say just that it is because I say it. And on a European level, there is second driver is green financing through banks. So maybe you have heard about taxonomy. This is what applies to companies. They need to prove their environmental impact before they are getting financed. And they need to prove it is acceptable. And third is, international companies mainly, when we're looking from Estonians point of view, who face a customer, that is a customer demand. And customer is voting with, customers are voting with their money. So either don't buy your product or buying from your competitor if competitor is more sustainable than you. So these are main drivers. Of course, these Green Deal documents are much longer than 3 points, but I wanted to point out that people just don't want to buy homes or work in stupid places. Let them know about the environmentally not friendly places. This is set out by Sten Ahn from KPMG. So it supports well these Green Deal drivers. What are important things to consider when it comes to apply innovation? First, I also said that rules of economy apply. So you need to earn money. That is the rule of economy, and you need to be competitive. Plan your future business based on circular economy, of course, because it is easy to do when you are small. It's much harder when you are already all set up with your business. And the balance is definitely the future. And I will give like more hints and ideas on the next slides. New opportunities, of course, new business models. We already see like a lot of business model changes, and we see that new investors are coming to this sector, and I would say with only financial investors with financial investment approach, there is not much to do in green tech sector, because we need to see also the impact. And if investor doesn't understand impact and understands only the financial part, I would say they are not like ready invest in green tech sector, because green tech problems are much more difficult than only like financial issues. Also, we see energy storing and usage. Of course, you understand this while we can produce energy in certain times, and we need to store it to use solar energy at nights. By the way, interesting fact about solar energy. I don't know if you have heard it, but in 2 minutes, there comes more energy from sun towards Earth than we can use in 1 year. So sun energy is so powerful that in 2 minutes, there is more energy that we can use all year around. It is all the heat, the building, the electricity, the transportation. But we are not in our knowledge in that stage that how to catch it all. So yeah, sun is definitely the future. Energy efficiency in buildings. There are a lot of opportunities. If you think we're spending like at least in this part of world, we are spending like 80% of time in buildings where we consume energy. Bioeconomy. This is definitely next big thing. Food, of course, because population is growing. But if you think nature has built up everything bio production. And even the fossil fuels are bio production. These are very big animals that locked in swamps or below the earth, and then this is oil that we are pumping. Raw materials, of course, different green technologies in materials, mobility and logistics, of course, and we see more and more science-based businesses that gaining momentum, because the problems that green technology companies are solving are, like I said, complicated. You probably have seen this business model canvas. I believe you have had the chance to fill this. I believe Jana and team has divided you the material, shared you the material that you need to make your business model canvas, where you are focusing, and this is very good exercise. And I have done it, like, I think hundreds of times, taking new sheet, starting to mark down what is if my value proposition would be if I change my business like this. And this is widely used because this is simple. And I just want to point out the places where you can reevaluate your business. Saving resources, key partners, key resources, and channels. What are you using? Definitely you can make changes or plan changes, and key partners. I know that one Estonian famous green tech company, Co-Module, changed the key partners even when their basis price was higher, but they changed partner who was sustainable towards their values. Of course, value proposition can be like very innovative, and you can rethink this sector. It can be like customer relationships and customer segments. You can choose your customers, and you can advertise for certain groups of customers. And yeah, probably these 17 sustainable development goals have seen a lot of nowadays investors are validating the startups towards these sustainable development goals. This is also widely used because this is simple. And I want to point out the parts that focus on environment and green technology. This is clean water, of course, energy, infrastructure. Basically, if we build structures that lasts longer, or we are like building like short-term, low price and quality products. Circular economy, responsible consumption and production, climate actions. Also, this is much connected to entrepreneurship as well. Life below the water, life on land, ecosystems, and partnerships for the goal. And you can rethink your company strategy. and vision. If you have physical product, then I share you very simple like statements how to design your products more environmentally friendly. Of course, this subject is much wider than one slide, but at least you get the hints where to start looking how to move forward. First is if you have physical product, your product chemistry. If it's safest, if it's low hazard, or it is uncertain, then of course when it's red, don't use it. High hazard, absolutely out of the question. Content. Are you using materials from post-consumer or from post-industry? This is, remember we talked about circular economy. If you are using virgin materials, don't do it. As simple as it is. Also, when your product life cycle is over, how to separate, I don't know, maybe you are producing new innovative chairs. How to separate this chair? What is the separation time? Are the tools simple? And are your all parts are labeled so that next production can take your materials as post-consumer materials into their production. So you see that future businesses are more connected. And reuse, upcycle, make something what is low value, add more value to this, or downcycle. At least it goes into the circle. And if it's not reusable, then it's produce, consume, throw away model, and this is not environmental friendly model. How to make your business more sustainable? First is ask why. And this simple question actually works in different levels. But if you understand certain points in your business that it is not environmental friendly, or that is too much energy waste, then always you can ask why we are doing this as we have done before. Can we change something? And one big company asked why and saved energy 20% and water consumption 12%. And these simple questions. Do you know the ice bear? For example, Saku ice, when they froze the bear into -degrees and then they melt it and it gets like smooth taste. Recipe owner and technician started to talk, and technician asked, do we need to freeze it up to -24 degrees, or can we freeze it only up to 20 degrees? The recipe owner said, of course, it doesn't matter. And when you lower the minus degrees, then you save a lot of energy. Reuse resources. create your own packaging circuit if you need to have package. For example, you can, if state packaging circuit, what we have for bottles doesn't support your products. I don't know if you have like liquid product and maybe you're putting it into small bottles, what doesn't go into packaging circuit. You can collect your own bottles. That's how you can keep connected with your customer, and you can lower carbon footprint. You can use order subscription. Then you can have good contact with customer, and you can send, for example, repairing parts or something like this. And yeah, I always ask why is the packaging? What is packaging for us? Supply chain. There are different digital solutions for circular economy. You can create your own registry. You can, for example, if you use textile in your product, you can use reverse resources. You can buy from that platform, and you can offer someone to that platform to use your leftover textiles, for example. You can also calculate your business footprint, and one idea is if you give out your product, make the material passport for it. It's easy to do, and it helps also your product development in the future. This is one example. This is my home, the bed, and then this software company issued me with the bed what I bought, the product passport. And there is a textile example, there is a numbers, there is a unique numbers, and then when it I don't know, breaks down or textile gets old, I can contact the software, and then I can order repairment and new parts if needed. Also sharing platforms, product as service, simple example and has a huge impact. So often we don't need to own like cars, or I think we have been driving electrical scooters, mainly all of us, but we don't own, many of us, the scooters. Also decentralization, so we can decentralize big industries, so we can serve, for example, locally, so it lowers also supply chain. Breaking down supply chain and shorten them is also way to like find new business ideas and also to change your existing business idea. Yeah, and prolonging the product life cycle and product life, because if you think about it, we never we very we usually when we purchase something to ourselves, very often we are not looking for a price. and we are choosing often for better quality, and if product is has more quality, then the product life cycle is often longer as well, and customer really buys a price if your product doesn't solve the problem. They don't probably want it for €1 as well. So it's smart to make more quality products instead of quantity. And if you are not like willing to say immediately how you're going to get like your environmental goals, then make a plan and tell when you can. And one more idea: if you're applying for funding, for example, you start to build your own factory, then apply for sustainable solution. Yes, it makes like often the budget much bigger, but you will be amazed that you are getting like these fundings much easier. Yeah, this was about please.
Sorry, it wasn't clear. So your very last point about the sustainable solutions, could you elaborate a little bit on what you meant?
If you're applying for funding, for example, if you are start building your own factory, then plan it with renewable energy, for example. Together with factory, you can apply for a solar park. So you produce energy on the spot, for example. This is one example. It of course depends on what you are applying, like for a funding, but yeah.
Okay.
This is
yeah.
If anyone has more questions about this part, because we have reached to the point where we start talking about minimum viable product and ending this part of sustainable business model part. All right. Yeah.
I had
Please.
a question about when you were showing earlier the slide about the chemistry and the recyclability and stuff. I had like more specific question that right now we're thinking of building our product out of concrete, but concrete is not very sustainable in the long run for the CO2 emissions and whatnot. So I was thinking maybe you know some like good alternatives to concrete that have similar values, properties, but is with better environmentally. Like, have you heard of any cool materials?
Yeah, one material you can easily find if it suits is lignin. Lignin is a material from food industry. Lignin, and they even making the using lignin instead of bitumen for asphalt, for making the highways.
But could you, for example, build a house from this lignin? Do you know?
Like plastic.
I'm not that expert, but house you can build from wood.
Yes.
It depends what you need. It totally depends what is the purpose of concrete in your business.
So it's can support weight, and it's like pourable. You can pour concrete into a mold. So this is one of the like main things I'm thinking about at the moment.
I think you mean that.
But this is another discussion and very specific also. So let's move on.
Okay.
will check.
Okay. What's our? I lost a bit. What's our? Any more questions? Okay. If not, then we are continuing with minimum viable product. Okay, I start to show and putting the screen back again. Yes, minimum viable product. Minimum viable product is not actually the product, it is a process. And simply said, I don't know if you have already heard about what is minimum viable product with your mentoring sessions, or you have heard. Okay, I would say that to simply say, if you are not testing anything with your product, then you don't you don't have a product, because MVP is a process of testing, and you have your assumptions and hypotheses, and you are developing continuously your product, and you need to understand what customers and what is a market and product and market fit, and what customers are saying about your product. Because if I ask from my mother which computer to buy, she's saying, don't buy very expensive one. But as technical people, we understand then we need to buy two computers. One is what is not very expensive, and the other one what lasts and then works well. Goal for a startup is basically this: facing a high level of uncertainty. Startup company aims to seek effectively develop and validate a scalable business model. And how we know if our business model is scalable? We need to measure it. What was it before? We made some changes. What it is now? And this is, I would say, mathematical problem we need to solve. And as we are like testing and finding constantly the market and product fit, and after we have found it, we start to scale, then this is trial and error process. Trial and error based entrepreneurship is startup entrepreneurship. And you probably have heard about it, but to say it out loud is never enough. You need to understand if you are like solving the pain, or you are just making something little bit better. And you have usually so different ways to go with your startup, and often we tend to like this good ideas that some maybe mentor has said that you should go on that way, and I would if you go that way and you're making this product, I definitely will buy it. But customers are saying one thing and they are doing totally other things. So you need to understand where is your pain exactly, and then when you find this pain sweet spot, then you can, and probably definitely can scale it as well. Could someone say to me, what is the difference between product and minimum viable product? Have you taken apart lessons and this program, and maybe you have already like figured this out? What is difference between product?
Yes.
Come again? Could you say it again?
No, I was looking at
Yes.
Joseph raised the hand, so but basically
Joseph.
But I learned that product is what you sell, but minimum viable product is something you use to collect information about and validating your idea without actually putting much effort into it in the beginning.
Okay. Joseph, what is your version?
Yeah, I guess it's quite similar. So it's basically, I think indeed, like product is something like final and polished, while indeed MVP is something like a work in progress.
Okay. Jürgen?
I'd say that minimum means minimum you can sell.
Yeah, the difference between product and minimum viable product is that you have added the customer into minimum viable product. If you can sell it, it is very good, but customer must be involved. So that already mentioned that everything what you build for customer, not for yourself. And how I know this, I have been in that situation where I love my product very much, but some customers also did love it. I don't know if they love it, but they purchased something. But after testing and after validating real data, you understand that you need to make a pivot. You need to throw everything what you have built away and start from scratch again. It is hard to do it, while definitely when you are serving as like I have been like served as a CTO, you have built something 3 months and now someone says, customer says you need to throw it away. And this is like actually test and trial business, and then you are saving a lot of money if you are like testing it before you build it. And this I want to talk about more, how to test something before you even start to build it. Customers have the answer, and without customers we don't have our business. Yeah, we can build our startup in certain point with only investors' money, and then you probably have heard, if you have seen this Estonian startup movie, we are pre-revenue. You understand? We are pre-revenue startup. That means you don't have a customers. You are pre-revenue. But in some point you cannot be pre-revenue. Or you have to build like very like long vision and strong with strong vision. It applies for deep tech companies who are like very who are the need of funds are much bigger. Okay, test before you build it. If you do not have the data, your business is built on assumptions, and the simple rule is, if all else is equal and A has higher certainty than B, then test A before B. The second factor is probability of an assumption being true. This is for scientists. This is very like simple rule, and it works always because scientists are making like assumptions every day. They are assuming something, then they test it, and then through this testing they understand the results. And you should also test different assumptions. And what does the customer do or say? First, customer will say, you are interviewing customer, and customer saying what he or she wants. But I would say, don't believe the customer. Watch what they do. If you are observing what customer really does, then it often is totally different. If customer says that most important thing is to save the time, and let's say you have already the product that saves customer time. If this is most important thing to save the time, why don't they buy your product at once? Like, because you can prove it easily. This saves your time. So, okay, I buy it. This saves my time. Puzzle solved. No, you observe what they do, and then you can ask something like this. Okay, you're saying you're doing this. Please walk me through your process. And then you see the most important thing, why they do what they do. And if you understand the why of a customer, then you're working on value proposal. You are not working on assumptions, you're working on observations. But if you understand why, then you are working like with a value proposal. And then you understand the customer real pain. And you start to build like painkiller not the vitamin. And there are different methodologies, but one is product development sprint. First, observe how client solves the problem. Second, understand why. Third, the point of view. So you have like arrived with assumption, and then in that point you must be ready to pivot the problem. So you need to throw your assumption away and focus only to the customer point of view. Then you have totally new idea, then you're prototyping it, and then you're testing it. So these 6 steps help you to build up the real MVP together with customer. And I give you one example from real situation and my own experience. One company came to me and they said that we have so amazing idea. We are building the parking application for the foreigners, because foreigners cannot like freely park in foreign countries, and now we are building one super application that you can park everywhere in Europe with same application. Sounds pretty logic that yeah, but I asked how you know that this problem exists. For to say this problem exists, I tell you because this is so complicated to park in foreign countries that if we are making this easy, everyone going to use it. And what was MVP? MVP was what I suggested to them. Let's go to Europark and ask if they can give us free parking spaces for a weekend. And then we agreed with Europark, and they parking houses are often on weekends like half empty because people are driving away and then not parking cars as they're parking while they're working in offices. And they gave us a certain amount of parking spaces with certain codes that we can use. So what we did 500 flyers and went to harbor and divided these flyers to foreign cars. When ship arrived, we gave these flyers to Finns and then to Swedish cars. And the flyer says, if you want to park for free in city center this weekend, go to this web page, activate the code, and you are free parking owner. So we made 500 flyers, and we knew how many flyers we shared, and then we counted how many free parking is used based on these flyers, and then we got our answer if foreigners want to park with parking application or they don't want to park. So this is like very simple, like testing without building a product. Otherwise, we have spent like thousands to build up application, to start marketing, and this is how you can build up like different solutions. Yes, Joseph raised your hand.
Yes. Ragmar, so I had a question. So when we think about our problem, it's actually more environmental problem. So we are sure that there is an environmental problem that, let's say global warming is happening too fast in the Arctic region. And that's our kind of our initial driver. But then we go to the industry and we try to force the, the industry, which is the cause of it, to somehow, go in line with us, with our thinking, and do lower the emissions, and we try to somehow motivate them. But for them, it's not a real problem yet, because there is no regulation, or they don't feel a pain yet, So my question is, how to basically either create a pain for them or create a gain for them, right? To make it interesting for them.
We need to go back on the roots, I guess, because why companies want to be more environmental friendly? Why? I had one interview today with one software house, and they want to make green transition. And my first question was, why you want to make it? Why? What's in it for you? Because I know that people are not putting like solar panels into their roofs because they want to be environmental friendly. They're putting them because they want to lower their expenses. They want to earn like extra profit. This is where the rules economy are applying. But there can be also other like drivers for companies. They want low expenses. They want to more cost. If they can carbon capture, they can earn more profit based on carbon market. What else? They can be more competitive. They can stay out while they are also operating on a competitive market. They can say out, I don't know, someone produces the protein bars. They can say out, this is only protein bar in the world that has like 0 carbon footprint.
Yep.
So you need to test like different angles, and yeah, then you might find the sweet spot, but you also can operate with one business model and earn already profit and find the better one, and then you are making like pivot. Because when startups are already working and operating and earning the profit, maybe they cannot scale so fast as investors are expecting. Then they are making pivot, and you see they are scaling. So there are a lot of examples. And one investor said to me the other day that his best investments have came from companies that have made like more than 2 pivots. Okay. So yeah, this is a test trial business.
Maybe one follow-up question, if I may.
Yeah.
Now, basically, I get many people recommend reading this Mom's Test book, which drives you how to create better customer interviews. But with our case, because our customer, let's say, it's a shipping company, right? Who would be kind of our customer. but they actually don't know that, it's a problem, right? Because we want to create additional for them. So I'm a little bit puzzled how to apply this mom test, to this case.
One example for a testing is that you are making like a one-pager, and with easy tools you can Google and find out like there are a lot of free platforms where you can build like very awesome one-pagers. And then you are making like one-pager and explaining what your product does, and you are sending directly to these guys, and please check out this. And then of course you need to send all the I don't know, emails with tracking codes, and you're saying that you have product like this and that. Of course, you're a little bit over promising. And then if you want to be in the loop, give your email address, and we will send you the new discoveries and news about this product. So I'm sure that if they don't give you an email, they won't give you like money in the future as well. So this is one way to test it. One big logistic company said me once that they are in strategic sales, and the head of sales said that they don't waste their energy. They don't waste their sales guys' energy. They don't send their sales guys onto the cold leads. They make very exact email campaigns, sending it out with tracking links. And if someone is clicking on that link, within 2 days, maximum gets the phone call. So this, we know that this customer might be interested in this, and then the sales is approaching. And yeah, if you are not like in strategic sales industry, doesn't matter. We are selling our products anyway, either with strategic sales or with hoping to get our customers in from marketing campaigns in social media groups or somewhere else, but we are selling it constantly. So we need to understand the customer interest.
Yep. Thanks, Ragmar.
Yeah, welcome. And I thought that I give you homework as well. I have actually if you have a team, then you can brainstorm. First of all, if you start this exercise with your team, first of all, make assumptions that we assume that this product solves this problem and serves these customers. And if you have team like more than one people, then you can do like the silent brainstorming first. These methods work very well because then we don't start to discuss at once, but everybody writes down the ideas alone. Like we are in quiet place and silently writing down the ideas, how we should test this assumption. And you can write down everything, and you can write down also that we need to hire 100 developers and they program it with 1 day, and it costs only like I don't know how many thousands, and then we have product ready, and then we can test it next day. So or you can try like also the cheaper ideas as well, like how to test it, and yeah, and then you are making like all these ideas what you have write down, making the teamwork. So basically you're making like the workshop at your home or at your office or university or wherever you have the or cafeteria. So because it is much cheaper to test it before you start to build, and how I know it, like with one startup, we were in startup wise guys incubation program, and then this is 4 months program, and then they give like also taking like little equity and giving the real money that you can work and then focus only in your startup, and I served and founded this startup as CTO, and I had problem to something didn't work with developers. I have had problem. We had like little funds for hiring developer, but one guy came and went away, and then basically we didn't like develop anything within 3 months. But we had product up and running. This was like one web page where customer added all the data, and it basically sent an email. And then this was logistic startup, and then logistic they took all this data and made offer as fast as they can, as fast as they could, and then they sent it to the customer. So customer got like answer within like half an hour or so, but the web page was built up very friendly, and then we say that you are getting your answer probably within 1 hour, and everything was working. We onboarded customers, and after these 3 months, when we started, when we found like a development team, and then we started to develop the product, we built up a totally different product, because with this manual work, we learned like huge amount of knowledge within 3 months. Where are the bottlenecks? What to do? What not to do? What takes most of our time? And then we started to build like a totally different product. So that's why I encourage you to make the silence brainstorming first, and then make teamwork, how to test your assumptions. And yeah, and second homework for you, for your benefit, is the same, where you can re-evaluate your problems. This is the same, the business model canvas, and you can re-evaluate key partners, key resources. You can rewrite your value proposition, and all this work is for your own good. And then this takes only your time and then your brain power to modify your business, to make it more business like for a future. And yeah, these are two things what you can work with. And I would say that you have in these programs a lot of mentoring and lot of good ideas, and they are all right ideas, but they are not right if you try to apply them all together. and you need to have your own like focus, and simply say, listen what mentors are telling you if it helps you, but keep your own like focus. Because, for example, I don't know exactly your business, and if I'm suggesting you to do something like this way that my experience have shown, it might not work for you. So that's why listen every mentor, but decision is yours. Because if your business goes bankruptcy after what mentors have suggested to you, they are not covering your bills. so yeah, and also I think if someone suggests me something, I listen, but what to say, we all have our own ways to understand stuff, and my final words for this discussion is that we see that it is possible to create modern businesses, make properly income, and at the same time improve the environment and make environment better. So stay tuned, stay green. Thanks from my side. We can discuss further if you have questions or quotes or suggestions. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Ragmar. And I just would like to encourage you, we have 27 minutes to ask Ragmar as much questions as possible, because as you know, Ragmar is lucky enough free spots to mentor you.
Yeah, I have very tense weeks, and
so yes,
yeah,
shoot the question.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Joseph already has the first question.
Yeah. Thanks, Ragmar, for the presentation. I guess it's a question about the moment when we should start developing like our first MVP, because we are still at the stage when we are trying to confirm that our value proposition is something which is of interest to potential customers. As you suggested, we'll create a one-pager and share it with the industry and just see the feedback. But I guess until we hear like any positive feedback, any positive notes, we shouldn't go any further. Is it right?
Once when I was like with my first startup company in Tehnopol startup incubation program, then our mentor also we had assumption that our product might lower insurance costs, and our mentor said at that time that you should ask from insurance, and this is your next week task, to meet not one, not two, but 3 insurances, because you don't know which one gives you no, which one means it, and which one gives you no because they had like other thoughts in their mind. So definitely you should ask from different possible customers, and I know your business model is kind of complicated, and how to easily test it. You need to interview the possible customers, You need to understand what is their real pain, why they want to be more environmental friendly, why they want to lower the black carbon emissions. What is the driver for them?
That's actually the thing, because they don't. we try to.
If they don't, then you need to figure out what you do with this carbon credit. Yeah, this is another business model, which also is working for several companies. And then you have something, you made the environmental better, you earned your carbon credit. So how you can earn it and how you can put it on the market. But personally, I'm not big fan of carbon credits, because the customer for carbon credits are continuing doing what they do. And they lower the impact by buying credits, but this is one like incentive that helps definitely make like green transition, and at least we can measure and we can put them on market somehow, that economical like rules applying. So, but yeah, carbon and CO2 is let's say 1/3 of equation. There are, with expert, we are talking about going beyond CO2, which is biodiversity, which is like yeah, for biologists, this is real stuff. What we see, what happening.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions? Then seems Ragmar has explained everything so precisely that we don't need any. Okay, we have Jürgen.
No. We still have some time. We still have some time.
Old hand, I suppose.
No,
Yes?
that's a fresh hand.
Давай.
What about services? How we should calculate our environmental impact, and how can we make it? How can we make money out of it?
With services.
Platforms. We have several platforms here.
Definitely, we can make any company more environmental friendly. How to? Yeah, it of course depends on a platform. I would say I can make an example how one startup is working. Agronom, they are platform. They were platform for agri-tech sector. What they are doing, they are making the changing the ways how to cultivate the land, and then proving that the new ways saving like environment. And first they are setting the base of existing like field, what are the emissions, how they operate, and then they are making new plan how to change the way how we are growing crops on that field, and it is improved that with new way we're saving CO2, and they are having the cap of CO2 what they are operating on European market, CO2 market. And they are at that stage that they are lacking of the land what to improve. so searching the land, how to help that sector to change the way how we cultivate the land. But I don't know what platform you had in mind.
Well, when you have when you use artificial intelligence, you probably have some computers running. Maybe you choose using supercomputer for half an hour per week or 2 weeks instead of running two all the time, like a server farm. Maybe this kind of solutions should be written in declaration and put also on website that this is how we are doing, or isn't that the case?
I have an idea. You can use clean energy, for example. Like that's also a really easy way to just choose the electricity provider that is green.
Okay.
If you have servers,
you use only renewable energy source. Yep.
Papers,
that is one way.
Certified papers, certified, what else? Everything you have in your office, or you don't have an office, you use a co-working space with certificate.
Yeah, there are three ways how to act more sustainable. One is what we are affecting like directly. This is office. This is like how much water we use in office. I don't know what how we sort our garbage and everything. Then there is what we are indirectly affecting. This is how we operate as an organization. What providers we use, how our transportation is organized. Do we have like do we support our employees to use their own car, or we only support carpooling? There are different ways, and then what we are affecting as indirectly. This is how we think, what we say out loud, how we advertise our services, and when our colleagues are going home, how they act over there. Are they denying the climate change issue, or they also at home acting like they acting at office? So this is three like pillars of companies changing more sustainable. And then some investors have said that how startup doesn't have a time to measure the impact, and they have so limited resources that they cannot mess around with the calculating the impact. I would say it is easy to do when you are small. Bigger you get, the more complicated that is, and you don't need to have like I don't know the very like deep dive how much this room uses electricity and everything. Don't go odd, but be aware. understand this. If you change something, you are like, first of all, you are like usually profit directly from this. You are earning more money, making expenses lower. Easy. Yeah, Harald and Kaja, hand up.
Yeah, the question is kind of like continuing the last developments of the discussion. Like our goal is to be like as environmental friendly as possible, and it goes really deep, like lower supply chains and like everything. How deep can we go with the calculations? Should we also like consider the water cleanness and everything, or like what's the main thing to focus? Is it like carbon tax side, like just the emissions, or?
Yeah, I would say that one moment. There are greenhouse gas calculation models, and if you're going like on a page Ministry of Environment, you find like very practical materials. Also, there is an Excel file that you can calculate like greenhouse gas footprint calculation model from 2nd of November, and there is a let's see, organization, how organization operates, energy, vehicles, then purchased electricity, purchased heat, transport, that meant to be company transport, then business trips, how people are coming to work, wastes, what products you buy, what products you sell, financial investments, and like fossil fuels. If you buy any fuel, that's it. There are not in that point the biodiversity, because it's very hard to calculate like biodiversity. And I believe this is also subject for upcoming startups and companies, how to calculate it, and then definitely we see this in near future.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, like the practical, like just fill it Excel table. Please send the link. I need it. Like just it's very
okay.
everything.
Okay. I can share it. Yeah, I can share it to this chat as well.
Yeah, that would be really lovely. Like I can Google it, but like just to have it the precise one. Or if there is another like or something to calculate it more easy. So.
This what I mentioned, it is not very easy to calculate. This is kind of complex model. Yeah, it will take time for me to find.
Better than just describing the whole world. But thank you. It's
okay. Yeah, you're welcome. I check the chat if we have any questions here. All right. Yeah. Any other thoughts, shares, questions? I know I meet 4 teams tomorrow morning. It's in my calendar, and then we can discuss. like in one-on-one on team meetings, more precisely different topics.
Thank you, Ragmar. Then I will stop the recording.